Let's go and search for the mysterious gold of ancient civilization, my fellow ice cubes, because we are moving to the Lost City. A world of Indiana Jones and sticky toadstools is waiting for us. It is the fifth world of our time adventure and yet another hope to find Dave's Taco. Today, we will beat a lot of challenging levels with the help of the Toadstool and finally receive a good amount of valuable sun. Without further ado, let's dive deep into a great gold rush. Welcome to the jungle. User Dave, this is no ordinary jungle. A scan of my records indicates that this is the fabled Lost City. Historical texts state that the sun was worshipped here. Resources should be plentiful. Nice! Double kill! I suggest that we try planting on the gold tiles that we find here. Lost City? This is it, Penny! We have found it! Crazy Dave is literally a slowpoke. Where else would I find my lost taco except in a lost city? I think, therefore, I exist. Alright, it was just a 200 IQ moment. Now let's get back to the jungles. The first day of such a nice world began with planting an army of puff shrooms. These little guys are a perfect weapon against all kinds of zombies, no matter how strong or weak they are. I really enjoy playing the Lost City, and that was the best introduction to such a world. We accidentally lost some lone movers, but that didn't stop us from successfully finishing the level. My sensors indicate movement incoming from above. Maybe it's present from the sky. Ayo, what is Floppa doing on F-35? He doesn't leave a chance for a single watermelon. Oh yeah, what about day 2? Here we can see the result of the shroom expansion caused by the spore shroom. He only wanted to defeat some zombies, but accidentally spawned some new friends on my lawn. I guess that the red stinger was highly impressed by the number of duplicates. He didn't expect to see so many purple bodies. Day 3 was a conveyor belt level which didn't include any mushrooms, so that's a good chance to tell you something interesting. Did you know that the actions of these worlds take place in Mesoamerica? It is the sub-region of North America, which was home to some unique civilizations like the Maya. They built incredible cities, pyramids and temples. They also had a lot of gold, so that's why the Europeans were interested in them. Thank you so much for listening to me. I really appreciate that. It's time to deploy a frog army. Day 4 was dedicated to eating zombies with gold shovels. Nothing and no one could stop such a reliable mushroom as Toadstool. We also generated a ton of sun, which allowed us to plant even more zombie eaters. Don't forget about its amazing plant food ability, which is a perfect weapon against all kinds of zombies. This is probably the best mushroom for such a fantastic location. Day 5 was yet another conveyor belt level, which didn't contain any mushrooms, so let's forget about its existence. Just take a look at the Burger King Floppa. Day 6 contained a lot of golden shovels. I didn't want to use the Toadstool because I wanted to find another way of dealing with excavators. This time, a combination of Scaredy and Fume Shroom allowed me to build a good defense line, which protected my lawn from all kinds of zombies. Day 7 was entirely dedicated to a Fluffy Shroom and Little Chompers. When something is going wrong and there are too many zombies on the lawn, you can feed the main shroom with a delicious plant food and it will easily solve all the problems. Always remember to plant the whole column of them, as it's crucial for substituting the eaten shrooms. Day 8 contained a puff shroom, so you might think it's possible to beat the level by using only that shroom. However, it's not. This level features the excavator zombie, difficulty, which reduces our chances of beating the level with only a path shroom to below 0. Day 9 was the conveyor belt level, so it's a good opportunity to express my feelings about the Lost City. This is one of my favorite worlds in PVZ2 because of its unique atmosphere, great mechanics, and interesting zombies. I'm a big fan of Central America and the 20th century, so this world combines everything I like. It's also the home world of the Toadstool, which gives me another reason to love it. Day 10 was much harder than all previous ones, as the number of zombies had rapidly increased. It resulted in significant micromanagement, where I had to replace the Toadstools all over the lawn only to let the defense stay strong and prevent it from collapsing. It was hard, but I managed to beat the level without losing any lawn movers. Day 11 contained a huge variety of mushrooms. You could literally find any fungi you like. However, I didn't combine them without a reason, as today we were introduced to a parasol zombie along with the flying bugs. It wasn't so hard, but sometimes I couldn't even understand what was happening on the lawn. Nevertheless, I made a good decision that allowed me to fill the lawn with my favorite mushrooms. On day 12, we had to produce 5000 suns, and I decided to do that without using any sun shrooms. Can you imagine anything better than combining gold tiles with Toadstools? This combination is so effective that it allowed me to gather over 5000 suns by the end of the level. I don't know why, but destroying zombies with the help of the Toadstool gives me an excellent relaxation. It's really enjoyable. Day 13 contained lots of bugs, parasols, and golden shovels, but no mushrooms. This is a total discrimination against our shroomy friends. Nevertheless, I had a lot of fun while beating it. Day 14 didn't give me a chance to pick any plants, so I want to tell you a bit more about the Lost City. Did you know that it's one of the few worlds without any last stand levels? Yeah, it's still a huge mystery for me, as there are no obstacles to creating such levels for the Lost City. If you know the answer to this question, please let me know in the comments. Thank you. On day 15, we had to protect some AKs from a horde of hungry zombies. Fortunately, we had a good sun production, which allowed us to plant a huge variety of mushrooms and even spawn some additional ones. I was highly impressed by the amount of shrooms I had at the end of the level, as the rest of the worlds couldn't suggest to me such a good sun production. Oh, and after beating the final zombie, we received a map. Let's look at it. Well, looky here, Penny, it's a treasure map. My analysis suggests that the origins of that map are highly suspect. It has a big red X on it, Penny. When had big red X's ever been bad? Wait a second, do they want to gift me a delicious brain? I guess that Crazy Dave needs a new one. I wish someone would carry me around in a tiny house. I wish for a lot of things, user Dave. That's not one of them. Day 16 was an epic battle against a significant number of local zombies. Another conveyor belt level means another chance to express my feelings about the world we played today. Am I the only one who feels each world in PVZ2 differently? Maybe it's because I played them in different periods of my life and have various associations with them. I also played this game a lot while going on a vacation, which made my journeys even better. Next time I go abroad, I'll surely play PVZ2 once again. Day 17 contained some tents with bad intentions, because they spawned new zombies on the lawn. We couldn't allow doing that, so that's why I planted so many scaredy shrooms along with the fume shrooms. Plant foods were really useful out there, as they saved me so many times from total collapse. We will remember you, our fellow fume shroom. Day 18 was a conveyor belt level. I don't even want to say anything about it. Day 19 was an absolute banger, as we combined two of my favorite shrooms on a single level. The cheap price of the pipe shroom allowed me to save enough suns to plant a serious army of Toadstools to deal with heavy zombies and annoying tents. My fellow frogs have already consumed cobblestones, ice cubes and chickens, and now it's time to try out the delicious textile. One of my classmates used to eat paper, so consuming tents is a normal thing. Day 20 was the level of the potent shrooms. I have prepared only the toughest guys to deal with the enormous hordes of zombies. Not a single enemy could break through such a reliable defense line, which also included an undefeatable nightcap. Don't even try to eat a poisonous body, as he will destroy you faster than you might imagine. Also, the plant foodability of the ice shroom looks really epic. Day 21 finally gave us a chance to beat the pre-picked level using only mushrooms. The only thing I had to do right here was to plant as many Toadstools as you might imagine. Everything was so good that I didn't even have a free slot for a new plant food. Does that tell you how powerful the Toadstool is? If you don't pick the right answer, he will consume you. It is the thing he does better than anyone else. Beware, user Dave, I detect reptiles. They are triggered by zombies or when you plant on them. And then they give you tacos. If you equate tacos with jets of flame and huge boulders, then yes, the taco is somewhere around here. Day 22 was easily beaten using my fellow mushrooms. It took me only a bit more than a minute to complete it. I was highly impressed by such a speed, as usually I spend around 10 to 15 minutes to complete a single level. That was really fast. I was a bit tired of playing with my regular mushrooms, so that's why I decided to beat day 23 with only ice shroom. As time goes on, this mushroom becomes much more needed, as the rest of my gang is unable to defeat massive hordes, especially those that consist of heavy zombies. You will miss the weak bodies in the next few worlds. Day 24 was a hard one, and I failed it on my first attempt because of the flying bugs. After analyzing the level, I realized that my main problem was using the spore shroom. He wasn't so needed today, and I substituted him with a Toadstool. It was a good decision, as it allowed me to counter all the zombies and stop them from reaching my scary looking flowers. Crazy Dave is proud of me. Day 25 was decided to be beaten using the nuclear power of the Doom Shroom. The flying bugs were the only enemies that easily escaped the boombox, but the rest of the zombies were much more interested in consuming a new shroom. That was an epic explosion, which not a single zombie could survive. Day 26 was a pretty usual level. Nothing special happened while beating it, so I've got nothing to tell you about it. Except for the fact that we unlocked a gold tile. Day 27 was yet another hard level, because the blue skull zombie did everything to destroy my poor Toadstools. My main goal here was to survive until the final wave with all the lone movers to make sure that all the zombies would be defeated. I managed to do so on my second attempt, but it cost me all the Toadstools I planted before. Beware of such a dangerous enemy, my fellow ice cubes. Day 28 didn't contain any mushrooms, but before skipping it, let me tell you my honest opinion about one plant. The Warbloom is a very strange single-use plant. I want to see a person who decided to add it to the game. Day 29 was my revenge against the blue skulls and golden shovels. Get ready to turn into spore shrooms, my lovely zombies, because you are under attack by the spore shroom. The only boys we couldn't stop here were the giant gargantuars, but even they didn't stop us from beating the level. Day 30 was beaten in a few minutes because of the circumstances of this level. Here I had to survive the massive zombie attack without planting on Dave's slimes. And you know what? I did it. Nobody cares about losing the lone movers until you lose the level. Oh, and the Toadstool was perfect, just as always. The 31 was beaten pretty much the same. However, this level was much harder than the previous one because of the tents. It spawned so many new zombies that planting Toadstools at the end of the load wasn't the best decision. On my first attempt, I managed to deal with tents and save some more time to prepare for the final wave. Just try beating that level on your own to understand how hard it is. Unfortunately, Day 32 didn't contain any mushrooms, so it was just a usual battle with Dr. Zomboss that lasted only 5 minutes. All that discovering and still no taco. The search will no doubt continue, user Dave. Anyway, the key is mine, which means that we are moving to the far future. Another 25 levels are waiting for us, but this time with futuristic zombies and lots of plant foods.